Several potential National Electrical Code, or NEC, violations may be present in a described temporary 200 amp service installation. Firstly, concerning underground conduit protection, the 6-foot section of polyvinyl chloride, or PVC, exiting the transformer should have been protected by a rigid conduit for 18 inches above grade per NEC section 300.5d. Secondly, regarding underground conduit buried depth, the PVC leaving the meter base should have been buried at least 18 inches below the surface per NEC section 300.5a. Thirdly, with respect to underground conduit clearance, the PVC running alongside the fence should not be located within 6 feet of the fence post per NEC section 800.58a. Fourthly, focusing on above-ground conduit protection, the PVC running above ground on the grassy area should have been protected from damage per NEC sections 300.5d and 300.5 This could include using a transition conduit system to protect the PVC from mechanical damage. Fifthly, addressing above-ground conduit support. The PVC running along the fence line should have been supported more frequently than every coupling, especially considering the potential for movement due to the nearby job trailers. NEC section 300.5f2 requires support for above-ground conduits within 3 feet of boxes, cabinets, and equipment, as well as every 10 feet. Recommended corrections would include 1. Installing rigid conduit for the 6-foot section of PVC exiting the transformer. 2. Burying the PVC leaving the meter base at least 18 inches below the surface. 3. Rerouting the PVC along the fence to be at least 6 feet from the fence posts. 4. Protecting the above-ground PVC on the grassy area using a transition conduit system. 5. Increasing the support for the PVC along the fence line by adding more stakes or electrical metallic tubing, or IMT supports. Breaking down each violation further, let's analyze the underground conduit protection. The NEC mandates that underground conduits be protected from physical damage, and this protection extends to where the conduit emerges from the ground. The use of rigid conduit for the first 18 inches above grade provides a robust barrier against impact and other potential sources of damage that could compromise the integrity of the PVC. Consider the environment where the transformer is located. It's often an area subject to vehicular traffic, equipment movement, and other activities that pose a risk to exposed conduits. Rigid conduit offers superior protection compared to PVC in such scenarios. It's crucial to ensure that the transition from rigid to PVC conduit is properly executed, using appropriate fittings and connectors to maintain a secure and watertight connection. Next, examining the underground conduit bury depth. The NEC specifies minimum burial depths for underground conduits to prevent damage from digging, ground movement, and other disturbances. Burying the PVC at least 18 inches below the surface provides a sufficient buffer against these risks, safeguarding the conductors within. The specific depth requirement may vary depending on the voltage of the conductors and the type of installation. However, 18 inches is a common minimum depth for residential and commercial applications. In areas subject to heavy traffic or other significant loads, deeper burial depths may be necessary to provide adequate protection. It's also important to consider the type of soil and the presence of any rocks or other obstructions that could damage the conduit during installation. Now let's discuss underground conduit clearance. Maintaining adequate clearance between underground conduits and other structures, such as fences, is essential for safety and accessibility. The NEC requires a minimum clearance of 6 feet from fence posts to prevent contact with energized conductors and to provide sufficient space for maintenance and repairs. This clearance ensures that workers can safely access the conduit without risking electrical shock or injury. It also prevents the fence from interfering with the conduit's integrity or causing damage to the conductors within. When routing underground conduits near fences, it's important to carefully consider the location of fence posts and other potential obstructions. The conduit should be positioned to maintain the required clearance at all points along its length. Let's move on to above-ground conduit protection. The NEC mandates that above-ground conduits be protected from physical damage to prevent damage to the conductors within and to ensure the safety of people who may come into contact with the conduit. In the described installation, the PVC running above ground on the grassy area is susceptible to damage from lawnmowers, vehicles, and other equipment. The use of a transition conduit system, such as rigid conduit or EMT, provides a robust barrier against these risks. The transition conduit should extend a sufficient distance above ground to protect the PVC from potential impact. It should also be securely fastened to the PVC to prevent it from coming loose or being dislodged. Furthermore, above-ground conduit support is also important. The NEC requires that above-ground conduits be supported at intervals sufficient to prevent sagging, movement, and other forms of stress that could damage the conduit or its support. The specific support requirements vary depending on the type of conduit, its size, and the environmental conditions. However, as a general rule, above-ground conduits should be supported within 3 feet of boxes, cabinets, and equipment, as well as every 10 feet along their length. In the described installation, the PVC running along the fence line should be supported more frequently than every coupling, especially considering the potential for movement due to the nearby job trailers. The use of stakes or EMT supports can provide additional stability and prevent the conduit from sagging or shifting. It's important to ensure that the supports are securely fastened to both the conduit and the fence, and that they are spaced appropriately to provide adequate support. In addition to the specific code violations, there are several other best practices that should be followed when installing temporary electrical services. Firstly, always obtain the necessary permits and inspections before starting any electrical work. Secondly, use only approved materials and equipment that are suitable for the intended application. Thirdly, follow all manufacturer's instructions for installation and use. Fourthly, ensure that all connections are tight and secure. Fifthly, protect all conductors from physical damage and environmental factors. Sixthly, ground all non-current carrying metal parts of the electrical system. Seventhly, test the completed installation to verify that it is safe and functioning properly. By following these best practices, one can ensure that the temporary electrical service is safe, reliable, and code compliant. In summary, the described temporary 200 amp service installation may have several potential NEC violations, including inadequate underground conduit protection, insufficient underground conduit bury depth, improper underground conduit clearance, lack of above-ground conduit protection, and inadequate above-ground conduit support. By addressing these violations and following best practices, one can ensure that the temporary electrical service is safe, reliable, and code compliant. Remember to always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector if there is any doubt about the proper installation or compliance with applicable codes and regulations. In the specific case of the 6-foot section of PVC exiting the transformer, consider the potential for physical damage from vehicles or equipment operating in the area. The rigid conduit should extend high enough to provide adequate protection against such impacts. Also, when burying the PVC leaving the meter base, ensure that the trench is properly backfilled and compacted to prevent settling and damage to the conduit. When rerouting the PVC along the fence, consider the presence of any underground utilities or other obstructions that could affect the routing. Be sure to maintain adequate clearance from these obstructions to prevent damage. When protecting the above-ground PVC on the grassy area, consider the type of vegetation and the potential for it to damage the conduit. Choose a transition conduit system that is resistant to corrosion and other environmental factors. When increasing the support for the PVC along the fence line, consider the type of fence and the potential for it to move or shift. Choose supports that are strong and durable enough to withstand these movements. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity. Energize the circuit before performing any work. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and eye protection. Follow all applicable safety procedures and regulations. Electricity is a powerful force that can cause serious injury or death if not handled properly. By taking the necessary precautions, one can minimize the risks and ensure a safe working environment. Remember that the NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that covers all aspects of electrical installations. It is important to familiarize oneself with the applicable codes and regulations before starting any electrical work. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay current with the latest edition. By staying informed and following best practices, one can ensure that all electrical installations are safe, reliable, and code compliant. The information provided here is intended for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector before starting any electrical work. They can provide specific recommendations based on the unique circumstances of the installation. Ignoring potential code violations can lead to serious consequences, including electrical shock, fire, and property damage. It is important to take these violations seriously and address them promptly and effectively. By taking the necessary steps to ensure compliance with the NEC, one can protect oneself, one's family, and one's property from the hazards of electricity. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By working together, we can create a safer and more reliable electrical system for all. In addition to the specific code violations mentioned, there are also some general considerations to keep in mind when installing temporary electrical services. Firstly, ensure that the temporary service is properly sized to meet the load requirements of the equipment being served. Secondly, use only approved and listed equipment that is designed for temporary use. Thirdly, protect the temporary service from weather and other environmental factors. Fourthly, inspect the temporary service regularly to ensure that it is in good working condition. Fifthly, remove the temporary service as soon as it is no longer needed. By following these general considerations, one can ensure that the temporary electrical service is safe, reliable, and code compliant. The NEC is not just a set of rules, it is a comprehensive system of standards that is designed to protect people and property from the hazards of electricity. By understanding and following the NEC, one can contribute to a safer and more reliable electrical system for all. Remember that electrical safety is an ongoing process. It requires constant vigilance and attention to detail. By staying informed, following best practices, and taking the necessary precautions, one can minimize the risks and ensure a safe working environment. So, to reiterate, the importance of rigid conduit for protection, proper burial depths, and adequate clearance from structures cannot be overstated. These measures are crucial for ensuring the longevity and safety of the electrical installation. Also, remember that regular inspections are essential for identifying and addressing any potential problems before they become serious. A proactive approach to electrical safety is always the best approach.